Hey there. Here we're having a rainy Arbor Day last Friday in April in southern Illinois. And we very seldom go through a year without planting trees. Seems like this year we've been cutting more down than we've been planting. But in one of our flower beds we had this nice basswood volunteer come up. And it couldn't stay in the flower bed. So I popped it out and we're putting it in a better place. And have a lot of walnuts and other things in the flower beds that are going to have to go. And tried to pop this out, and what happened is I ended up with a bare root seedling. I wanted to have a nice bunch of soil around it, but the soil had gravel in it. It was loose, and when I popped it out, it just broke free. But anyway, that lets you look at how you're going to plant these. I hear a lot of people ask how much of the tree you put in the ground, and the answer is all of the root. And you can see where we had sprouts here right at the ground line. This is the root collar right here. And you compare that to your hand. That goes about as deep as my hand. Usually I figure 8 to 10 inches. You can compare that to your planting tool. And compare that to your planting tool. And it's most of the depth. If we put that in, it'll just be most of the depth. One of the things you'll see when you plant is you'll have side roots like this going out. If they get turned back, they can cause problems later. So this is a good time to pull out your pocket knife. There we go. Pull that off. Pull that off. Just trim that back a little bit so things don't get too bunched up. A little bit of trimming won't hurt, because what happens is that tree will put out laterals anywhere that root has been cut. And you'll actually end up with a larger root system by doing that. The bad thing here is I didn't want a bare root seedling with the leaves out. But that can't be helped, and I think what I'll do, all these leaves are pulling water, and our root hairs have been hurt. So what we're going to do is we'll take these sprouts off. They're pulling water and they aren't really doing us a lot of good, so we're going to pull them off. There we go. Got rid of a little bit of crown. We made prune that up a little more, because it's a lot of stress on that tree to have water being pulled out when you don't have the root hairs. So we'll do one more there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to tip this down and we'll see how you plant a bare root seedling. Let me turn that up, see if I got. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, if you're using a shovel, have that shovel facing you and set it up so it's pretty well vertical, and push it in the ground. And don't rock it forward and back like this. Rock it side to side, because I'll show you why. Give it a push, rock it side to side, give it a push. And you see we're down about to the depths we want to be on that tool. Now what we're going to do is just walk it over and lift that clod out of the ground. And we put the tree in here. And while I hold that clod back with the, there, get that root worked in. Line your roots up in there nice. Then let your clod set back in. Take your planting tool, bust that clod, and press it shut with your foot. That is how you plant a bare root tree. Now what happens is if you rock that tool back and forth like this, what you do is you compact the soil and you end up with a cavity at the bottom that doesn't close. So that's why I say rock it side to side, and you make your hole with one pullover. That way you don't end up with a cavity at the bottom. And now I just need to go get a bucket of water. If you're planting trees that are dormant, that came out of cold storage, and you have moist soil, there's no need to water. In this situation, I popped one out of the ground that was already leafed out, and we're going to have to water him. And if I see it start to wilt, I'm going to be trimming the lower leaves off of it and try to keep it going. If they all wilt, it'll have some dormant buds, and it'll pop back out again. I just like to keep what I've got. Anyway, easy peasy. Rock your shovel side to side. One smooth movement. Place your tree into the right depth. Straighten your roots out. Push your clod in, bust it, and stomp it. And that's how you plant a bare root seedling on Arbor Day. Thank you for visiting.